Hi, Cary McCaslin here with TriStar, and welcome to today's take. First, I'd like to start by letting you know that all of us here at TriStar are hoping that all of you are staying healthy and sane and working together to try and get through these real turbulent times that we've never had to deal with before. So I thought today's topic, it would be a good time to talk about how this coronavirus pandemic is influencing the mortgage industry and influencing at the same time buyers and borrowers on purchases and refinances. So let's rewind a few weeks. In the last few weeks, the Federal Reserve Board has had two times where they've lowered the Fed funds rate. Okay, so when the Fed gets out there and lowers that Fed funds rate, it's big news. So it gets out there and a lot of people hear about it. Unfortunately, there's a disconnect between what people think the Fed funds rate is and mortgage rates. There's not a direct correlation. Sometimes when the Federal Reserve Board lowers the Fed funds rate, there is some pressure on mortgage rates to be lowered, but it's not a direct correlation. So what happened is that they had two times where they lowered the rates. That got out there. That gets a lot of calls in here. But we're having to explain to most buyers and borrowers that the Fed funds rate does not match mortgage rates. Now, there was some emphasis to lower rates a few weeks ago, and we hit a low probably only for a few days, which is really interesting. That doesn't usually happen, but because of the uneasiness and uncertainty in the market, the mortgage rates, actually moved back up. So I want to make kind of 2 points about that. Number one, historically, if you look back at the rates throughout history for mortgage rates, we're still looking at really, really good interest rates. However, we're not at the lowest. And again, so if you're looking for the lowest rates, what I wanted to tell you is get your information in with your mortgage originator. That would be me or whoever else you're working with. Make sure they have your income and your asset information, and tell them what kind of goal you're looking at, what rate you're looking at, or a target rate, so that they're ready to lock that in for you if it looks like we hit those lows again. Because to be honest with you, right now, the volatility in the market, we don't know if rates are going to go lower, stay where they're at right now, or go higher. And even the experts, people that monitor mortgage rates that's all they do, are really having a hard time following this market right now. So again, just get that information to your mortgage originator. If it's me, just call me directly. I'll tell you what I need from you, and let me know what that target rate is. We can work on that together, and I'll look out for you when the time comes and I call you directly and we move forward on a lock. Okay, so the other side of this, I wanted to talk about how this is influencing our existing pipeline. So employment is the biggest factor. So a lot of people out there, unfortunately, are losing their jobs temporarily or even permanently. So some really sad stuff going on out there. But if you have a current refinance or a purchase loan going, it's very important that you communicate with your loan originator on what's going on at your job. Some people are temporarily laid off, but they still have somebody that can verify employment. So it's important that you communicate with your loan originator on that, and so we can work around it. There's some instances we can work through this and it's going to be fine. Other instances we may have to put it on hold until you go back to work. So that's kind of the big influences we're having right now. We're also trying to stay on top of the recorder's office, because the final process in closing a loan, whether you're buying a home or refinancing, is recording it at the recorder's office. And most of those recorder's offices are closed. Right now, luckily, our title companies are recording electronically, so they don't need the offices to be open. We're hoping that doesn't change, but we're staying on that on a daily basis, because just like you, we're getting through this one day at a time. So lastly, I just want to close in saying that we're hoping and praying for your health and your sanity through these uneasy times and very unusual, unprecedented times. If you have any questions about how this is influencing your transaction, or just questions about the market that I didn't cover today, please just call me directly. It's the best thing that we talk through it. Until next time, this is Cary McCaslin, TriStar Home Loans. Thank you.